It's time for some real education. The political messages of Theodore Seuss Geisel, best known as Dr. Seuss, are found in many of his books. Seuss drew more than 400 cartoons for the New York newspaper PM in just a 2-year span in the early 1940s. Many of these cartoons were directed towards World War II, Adolf Hitler, and Japan. In particular, his cartoons about Japan have been called savagely racist and urged the killing of Japs. And now more than 200 of these cartoons have been republished.
And this shows you how complicated history is. And I want to take my instant classic time today to demonstrate to you why it is foolish and ignorant to judge every period of American history through the lens of the modern progressive. It is anti-education. It is anti-intellectual. It is the kind of stuff you're going to get in all your public schools with the 1619 curriculum moving forward, and it is shameful. Take Theodore Geisel, for example. He wasn't really Dr. Seuss until the 50s. Cat in the Hat was, I think, after 1957 maybe. He wasn't Dr. Seuss, the great children's author, until the 50s. But in the 40s, he was a patriotic, very progressive, I might add, American, who wanted to see the United States defeat the forces of imperialist Japan and fascist Germany. And so he used his cartooning ability to demonstrate, to create war propaganda, right? Now, it's interesting that people call these pictures savagely racist. Well, they're not even really racist by today's standards, let alone by the standards of the 1930s and 40s. But let's take a look at some of those pictures. There you have a situation, right, where the Californians are interring Japanese citizens, right? And you see how the title on the hut is Honorable Fifth Column, right? And all of these stereotypic-looking Japanese people with their little skull caps are heading there to be interred. Now, Geisel actually is warning about a couple of things. He is warning about the possibility that with a significant population of Japanese people in California, there could possibly be sympathetic outbreaks. Or is he in this picture simply criticizing the policy of the Americans? Go to the next one. Here you have a very uppity white aristocratic woman, and she's reading to her children the story of Adolf and the wolf. These are the kind of the nice suburban moms that we hate now. And the wolf chewed up the children and spit out their bones. But there were no foreign children, so it really didn't matter, right? Seuss is literally lecturing the Americans that as long as it's not American kids being swallowed up by the gas camps of Hitler, then America isn't that worried about it. Attacking America, this was the liberal progressive position in 1942. The liberal progressive position in 1940, get into the war or else you're justifying the murder of these children. America, go to the next one. There's Hitler and the leader of the Japanese. Only God can make a tree to furnish sport for you and me. And the trees all have Jews hanging from them, right? The lynching of the Jews in these two fascist countries. And you can see where his political sentiments lie. He's very progressive, but now move forward. See, notice the caricature. By definition, cartooning is caricature. And so that doesn't, if I were a real sensitive German nationalist, you're making fun of our leaders, right? That's the whole point. This is the enemy. Insure your home against Hitler. Buy war savings bonds and stamps, right? Now, we're not bothered by caricatures of Hitler because Hitler was evil. He was also white. Now, go to the next one. Now, there's your savage racism right there. That's what racist. To have the leader of the Japanese portrayed that way. It's exactly the same thing they did with Hitler. Complete and total caricature. And notice the caption, wipe that sneer off his face. War savings, bonds, and stamps. It's the same message. Here is that same figure, portrayed in a political cartoon as a creature of the Pacific Ocean, some kind of lobster-clawed monster. There are pictures like that. Hitler like a dragon, by the way. He did Hitler in the shape of a dragon. Here, like some kind of sea creature. And the caption, I appeal to the civilized world in righteous protest against American barbarism and inhumanity. And the point is, he has the nerve to lecture us for our barbarism when they were doing what Germany was doing all across Asia. The rape of Nanking, people. It's a real thing. So explain to me, what we actually gained by describing all of this in Seuss's racism. It wasn't racism. They were political cartoons designed to show the hypocrisy and the wickedness of the enemy. Oh, did he use the word Japs, right? Did Americans call Germans Krauts in World War II? Then there's a perfect moral equivalency, isn't there, between the Nazis and the Americans? Because we use the word Krauts. Grow up, you cowardly babies.